What happened? Hey, Juice.
Sure.
Geisha here. Is he still in there? Let's see.
Yeah, he in there. He in there. Run it.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.
Welcome. Welcome. I am your gracious host.
Hey, Breezy,
Here
cut
at
that shit
Urban
up.
Matters Black Media Group, the new Black Media. And to you today. Coming to you today, September the 3rd, 2024. And today on our radar here at the Black Media, the new Black Media, let me get that right. The new Black Media, our radar control is telling us that this is a war briefing. And black men are starting to stand in the paint, stand on business, and we got a lot of people butthurt about that. Foundational Black Americans are standing in the paint when it comes to the black man community. And we got some stuff, man, y'all need to check out, man. We got some I just gotta play this first, fellas, before we get into it. We got my professor with us and we got Brother D with us, but I gotta play this real quick. It's a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna play this young brother out of Chicago who confronted Roland Martin. Roland Martin tried to get greasy with this young man, and this young man gave Roland Martin that work. Stepped up to him and pulled up on Roland Martin. But this gentleman, a lot of people don't know, this gentleman did 300,000. He did 300,000 against Chase Bank. Let's see. We have some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Okay, here we go.
Uncommitted at the DNC right here in Chicago. They were slapping them in the face, wouldn't even put up a speaker to even speak on it at the DNC. And they stood outside protesting, saying that the delegates were uncommitted because they wanted her to adopt an agenda that, stop weapons from going to Israel. And we should have been right next to them, right? We should have had 1,000 people saying we uncommitted too until we get this a part of our agenda, till we get reparations a part of our agenda. It don't make no sense that we keep watching other groups of people rise up and fight while we sit back and we just vote Democrat and we don't do anything. And so I am glad to see what's happening in California, them stepping up to say, hey, y'all gonna have consequences if y'all don't pick up this agenda. That's what's supposed to happen. A vote is a transaction. I don't care that Kamala looks that she's a colored woman or that she's a woman.
Now,
They're saying they have.
Let me go back real quick. To show y'all that we had some grassroots advocates on the ground in California with Governor Newsom is his name. And they put together a proposal for reparations for foundational Black Americans. They say, okay, y'all put in the proposal, y'all do the work, y'all get it in writing, y'all draft up the writing, and then we'll present it to the floor. But come to find out, when they got everything ready, the dang on DNC and the Black Caucus of California, they didn't even let it come to the floor. The Democrat Black Caucus, they blocked the vote. It ain't even the Republicans. It's the Democrats. Y'all got to check it out.
Have the votes. They are demanding. Got to talk about what happened at the state legislature yesterday. So I shared this and I said, oh shit, California reparations activists are protesting because the state legislature refuses to bring their reparations bill to the floor. They're saying they have the votes. They are demanding a vote or they will not vote for Kamala Harris. So I want everybody to see this. This is what I mean about having demands. So these are the activists that showed up at the state legislature. I want you to hear what they're saying here.
The speaker needs to bring the bills up now. These are their bills. They have their names on the bills. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Now, listen, they gonna see this and they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills, then they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Okay? We don't care.
We need to
the bills up now.
The governor needs to understand that the world is watching California, and this is going to have a direct impact on your friend Kamala Harris, who's running for president. This is going to have a direct impact. So pull up the bills now, vote on them, and sign them.
We have
We've been waiting for over 400 years.
So Jamal,
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard about this as well. I have a couple other clips to show about this. Oh.
It should. Listen, while the Palestinian community was outside uncommitted at the DNC right here,
Sure, this impacts Kamala Harris as well.
It should. Listen, while the Palestinian community was outside uncommitted at the DNC right here in Chicago, they were slapping them in the face, wouldn't even put up a speaker to even speak on it at the DNC. And they stood outside protesting, saying that the delegates were uncommitted because they wanted her to adopt an agenda that, stop weapons from going to Israel. And we should have been right next to them, right? We should have had 1,000 people saying we uncommitted too, until we get this a part of our agenda, until we get reparations a part of our agenda.
Now, this gentleman right here, his name's Jamal Green. Young jitterbug, young advocate, man. So don't tell me you can't do the work and that we just got to go along to get along and vote blue no matter who. This jitterbug saying we not voting for nobody. And this jitterbug went against Chase Bank and got Chase Bank to contribute $1 billion back into the hood in Chicago because he proved by the data, he showed through the data that they were loaning and giving loans and giving money and giving benefits to the white communities of Chicago. And they were skipping over the South Chicago and West Chicago districts. And he proved it to them, and they barred him out of all the Chase banks. He can't even go in the Chase bank right now. They got a trespassing warrant against him. But one thing that he did do, he advocated and got them to contribute $1 billion with a B with a boy dollars. This jitterbug right here, man. $1 billion. Y'all look him up, man. Jamal Green. His name's Jamal. Don't he say he hate when you get his name pronounced wrong. His name is Jamal, not Jamal. It's Jamal Green. Look this jitterbug up. He part of the Foundation of Black American New Black Media. I'm telling you, you clowns, you busters, you cowards. But we coming for y'all. We gonna call all y'all out. Because all you're doing is going along and getting along, and you're weak, and you're showing your weakness. And this is what these liberals do. They prey on our weakness. Listen to the jitterbug.
It don't make no sense that we keep watching other groups of people rise up and fight while we sit back and we just vote Democrat and we don't do anything. And so I am glad to see what's happening in California, them stepping up to say, hey, y'all gonna have consequences if y'all don't pick up this agenda. That's what's supposed to happen. A vote is a transaction. I don't care that Kamala looks that she's a colored woman, or that she's a woman, or that she talks. I don't like the way she talks, but Barack Obama is what I'm really using. Is he talks all nice and he has the best speeches and he looks handsome and he walks all smooth. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is where's the policy that you are going to put in place that's going to benefit our community. And if you are not talking policy, while the racial wealth gap is continuing to enlarge, while the border is allowing for other ethnic groups to come over and get the resources and land that was supposed to be given to us, I don't care about the symbolism. I care about how do we move forward an agenda for our people. And if you ain't talk about that, then I don't care about you. And that's how it should be.
Yeah, and here's another video here I want to show people because they were very vocal here saying, we want the vote. So you guys get the idea there. And then there's another one here I want to show people. This is actually, so Joan Sawyer, he's one of the assemblymen. It says here he's mocking Black American activists, after they decided they were not bringing the reparations bill to the floor.
Watch what they say about this boule. They say it's enough of this boule shit.
So watch for him. You'll see him come. So that's him right there, Jamal. He's mocking so for people who don't understand what happened here, he's a member of the Congressional Black Caucus in California. The Congressional Black Caucus members went against, again, they refused to allow the bill to come to the floor for a vote. And according to the activists, they actually had the votes. Now, this has happened before in California, and it was for cow care where they had the votes and they decided, not to bring it to the floor.
And this is what they do. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. This is what they do. People got to understand this. When you have, folks in power like Gavin Newsom at the top, you have governors, they will not move forward legislation in the legislature unless they allow it to go forward with the language that they want it to go, the language that they want in the bill. Please understand, this is how it happens. Y'all think that people can just introduce something and the people vote for it? No, it don't go like that. The Speaker of the House, as you would know, federally, it works the same way in the states where they can control what legislation hits the floor for a vote. And the reality is they're playing into the people and the powers that be with what legislation they want to come out. So the governor, Gavin Newsom, can call down to the speaker and say, hey, don't bring that bill up because I don't like that language. And if y'all ain't changing that language, then it's not coming. And then they go to the floor and they don't allow for a vote. So Democrats always talk this democracy stuff. They always talk Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. They always use these words, democracy, whether it be in fear or in hope. But democracy is not happening at the state level or the federal level, because when folks want democracy and they want to vote for something, they want to hold their accountable their politicians to vote for something, they're not allowed to even vote for it because there is no democracy. It's a dictatorship by the governor and the Speaker of the House where they can move forward whatever bills they want to. So we got to stop allowing them to play us in our face and say, if you believe in democracy, then move forward the bill and let's hold accountable to folks to vote for it.
That's right. And they named names. And I shout out here to Gia for naming the names. So you guys know who you can point your fingers at. Reggie Jones Sawyer doesn't support Black people. Mia Bonta doesn't support Black people. Jim Cooper doesn't support Black people. And Lori D. Wilson doesn't support. These are the people. So they did lose. It says here, Chris, who's one of the organizers, we lost the battle to create a reparations agency and fund, but we will win the war. Thank you to everyone who rode into battle with us. So.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I mean, you see this. It ain't even the Republicans. It's the freaking Democrats. It's the Black Democrats, the boule, the Black elites. It ain't even, come on, man. How we gonna win when we got these people representing us and they not representing us? And they want to blame it all on Trump. That's why I say, listen, man, if you're not gonna fight against this foolishness, shut up. Don't complain. I digress. Professor? Bro, Mark, thanks for joining us, bro. Thank you, sir. Can't hear you, Professor. I think, let me see, hold on. Let me make sure we can hear you. We got everybody live. All right, let's go.
There we go.
All right, let's do it. My bad, y'all. We was getting some feedback, so I have to put you guys on mute. and we'll get that feedback.
Okay.
You have me on mute.
All right, Professor, we got you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Hey, I'll make it real simple. So greetings, my dear brothers. Always want to commend you all. You know, we supposed to be low IQ voters. We supposed to be uninformed, and it warms my heart to be among Black men who are intelligent. The pandemic has made it where we really don't go to the barbershop. We're obviously, you can see I'm not in my office. I'm on the road. We're on some very important business. We're on a mission. But guess what, Dr. Juice? We still here with you. We still here with you. Technology allow us to stay connected. So in response to what you just played, I'll keep that real simple. Vote against blue, no matter who. What else is there to talk about?
I agree.
I mean, you know, you're not as a Black man, unless somebody could correct me. This is my protest statement. Okay, I am voting for the couch, and the reason why is because none of these political parties have said anything that have motivated me to get off the couch. I've served my country as my other ancestors. Our ancestors built this country for free. We, as Black men, we have fought in every war that this country has had. In fact, we've saved this country so many times. So just as much as I have the right to vote, I have the right not to vote. And I don't plan to vote because what am I voting for? I'm a businessman. I'm a Black businessman. And, you know, I'm tired of seeing all of these people who haven't put nearly the sacrifice that my ancestors have made, but yet you can come over here and they tell me now that Latinos, it make me want to run down to the border and cross it and get $150,000. You know, I'm thinking about that strategy. I'm brushing up on my Spanish. You know, we've been here for years and we get nothing. So no, unless they can talk to me about reparations. And see, here's the other thing. Don't get it confused. Reparations come in so many different formats. We're not just talking about a direct cash payment. I can tell you right now some of the things that I believe that Black people should have. I don't think Black people should pay taxes. I don't think Black people should pay property tax. I don't think Black people should pay no tax. Okay, for what we built this country for free. I don't think Black people should have to pay for their education since we're the only race of people in this country who they made it against the law. Name me another race of people who they made it part of the Constitution to deny them the right to literacy. So for all those reasons, we shouldn't be paying no taxes. We shouldn't be paying no taxes. And then we should get interest-free. We should get interest-free home loans. Interest-free. We shouldn't have to pay interest. We shouldn't have to pay taxes. None of that. So unless they're talking about policies that will empower me as a Black man economically so that I can support my community, so that I can educate my community, okay, they can kiss my ass. How about that? I'll rest right there on my ass.
I love it. I love it.
Right,
Yeah.
Brother D. Brother D, what's on your mind?
Let me turn this mic on. Just like the professor said, we out on remote. We get not, you know, we got very important meetings that we're going to be doing all day tomorrow, and on this podcast, we able to, and I'm still getting text messages coming in, and I had sent one to Professor Gary, whereas I think he was going to forward it to you. whereas they, talking about voting for Harris. It's crazy. If you see that text message, it's like childlike. It's nothing grown about anything what they're doing. It's just it feels like a game to me. And if you sit enough to play the game, they're gonna keep doing what they're doing. Most of our people, the era what we had, they begging for money. They on the street corner begging for money, and nothing. And you see the Latinos working. So um, what we've been saying out here, because we're not home, we out, and it's just the same thing. It's just the same thing. It's nothing changed.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Nothing changed.
You're right, because I see that all the time, Brother D. I come through certain areas of any community, and you got brothers up under the tree. You got the girls out there twerking it, and you know what? I see even the Latino women now. They on the job sites working. These people are not coming here to be your friend, family. They're coming to take over. This is an
And
invasion.
right, and I part of my professional, since when I was in college, I did construction work. I was drywall finisher, and when I went to Mexico, it wasn't no drywall there; it was all concrete. So how they can come up here and do drywall? And so what I've had noticed when I was finishing, be peeping around the corner, see copying your work. They copy your work. I had to chase them out. Had to chase them out. They'll sit there and copy your work because they don't know how to do it. They're just saying they don't know how to do it. They copy us. The whole world copy us. So that's one thing. If we leave the United States, they will come hunt us down. United States will come get us.
Oh.
They they need our ideas. They need our work ethics. But they need us. They act like they don't, but they need us. Even what Professor? What's that? The general name? I think he's a black general over the army, over the Navy. He's over the whole military, and he's a black general.
Talking about
Wow.
Austin.
Yes, he over the whole military.
General Austin.
Yes. So anybody, they say, well, Trump don't have the experience. They don't have to have it. They just go to that brother. He'll take care of it. They are the true gangsters. They wear the suits.
Well, one thing about a leader is any smart leader don't pretend to know everything. Any smart leader put people in place that's good in whatever position they need them to be good at. So a good leader know how to get the best person to do job A, to do job B. And then they bring all those pieces together in order to make things happen. Take a fool to pretend like he know everything, and then you crash and burn. So, you know, we I think we've been trained to be this. Well, we have. I know it. I don't think it. I know it because I've been paying attention and studying all this. We've been trained to be all the things that they attempted to put on our parents and grandparents. They used to call us lazy when we did 29 jobs, when we built homes, and they've slowly trained all of our hands-on skills out of our community because we used to always have a saying, you can't starve me. because I know how. Like for instance, you know how to do drywall work and probably a few other things. Professor Voss, same thing. Myself, same thing. I'm not worrying about somebody being able to hard time me and stop me from being able to produce an income or take care of myself. But laziness has been trained in us to where when you have a household where young men are worry about their fingernails and being dirty and the way they look more than a woman, that young man ain't gonna get out there and get dirty, putting mud, doing mortar and all that kind of stuff. See, we used to have little sayings like, "Oh, he clean up well,"
Right.
because you've been out there working. You know, they see you working, they see you with overalls on, they see you dirty, and then you got to clean up well because you just finished putting in some work. But these these young people are trained to stay clean and not get dirty. And how are you going to build without getting dirty? And then on top of that, Professor Voss, he was showing us the numbers on literacy rates. We got the lowest literacy rates of them all. So you're not going to be in nobody's office. So, and you don't want to get dirty. So you're not going to be like me and the professor and go out in that fruit grove and make no money or in that watermelon patch. So what are you going to do? You are going to be helpless. That's one reason why. Do you realize the people in our community that can't feed their families and their own food stamps? Do you realize they are the ones that go in the shopping, go in the grocery store, and they fill their carts up with lobster and shrimp and all those wonderful things. And their kids are usually the kids who say, I don't eat this and I don't eat that. But now you can't afford to pay for those kids' meals. But what you're doing is you're training these kids to be hard time later. Because when they grow up not literate and and doing other stuff, now you're not going to be able to produce an income. And now you got all these highfalutin, as they used to say, highfalutin values. Oh, I don't eat this and I don't eat that. Well, we used to eat syrup sandwiches and all kind of other things in order to survive or to get that belly full. But these youngsters not gonna do that. So what are you gonna do? So you being trained to start to be starved out because you don't have any hand skills. You don't you have all these don'ts. I don't eat this, I don't eat that. I can't do this and I can't do that. So what are you going to do? Because they've shown you that they will cut them stamps off, cut them back, and do whatever they want with them. So when they're ready to get rid of your section of society, you are at their whim. And on top of that, they taking care of your housing too. So you're totally dependent. We got to get an independent mindset. Not that old fake independence, all this independent, strong black woman stuff. We got to get a cultural independence to where we depend on us mainly and we get along with everyone. But black first, just like every other race, every other culture. Because if you depend on the government will set you up for failure. They've been trying to get rid of us ever since they landed on our shores. And they are slowly doing it. We are on an average of 900 babies a day being murdered from the womb, abortion. And we got black women, grown black women standing up for that. That's why Hispanics can shoot past us in population because we letting ours get killed. 900 babies a day That's sad. That's sad. And we standing out there fighting for it. That many people didn't get raped or incest or whatever the other thing is they say. Those babies are getting killed because of immaturity and lack of
Value.
responsibility. Yes, and values. So those are the things that we need to start focusing on as a group, as a culture, as a black culture, and we got to stop letting others define our culture.
Sir,
All right,
thank you
bro.
for that. Thank you
Yes,
for that,
sir.
bro. You, Mark. And me and Professor was talking about that earlier today about values and the morals of the foundational Black American community. How we're just allowing these political parties to try and initiate what's important to us, and we allow them to be the false spokespersons for our community. And you can't speak for me like Joe Biden. You ain't black if you don't vote for me. What?
Right.
Who gave him the green light to say that?
Right.
This man been a Southern segregationist all his life.
Yes, sir.
A Mason Dixon fake abolitionist. Man, y'all
And
better
he
get right, family. Y'all better get right, man. Listen, like that little jitty boy say, J. Mar Green, this jitty boy is 22 years old and he confronted Roland Martin. Did y'all hear? I gotta get the footage for y'all, man. But
I love that dude. Oh, that young man chewed Roland Martin up.
but not only that, today Roland Martin was doing something with CNN where he was trying to back Kamala up about the whole statement that the CNN lady asked her, Dana Bash, when she asked Kamala, well, Trump said that you just finally got black when you started becoming a politician lately. And she was like, next question. And he was trying to pull that clip up. And when he pulled the
Ah,
clip up, he pulled up a clip of
Hey,
some black
Juice.
ass. What he been looking at? He pulled a clip up of some black ass. He was looking at a black man ass. And, there's always a suspect by Roland that he's a little moist. He's a
right.
little spicy. He's a little, what's the
Yeah.
word for it? He's a little moist around the
Yes.
edge. So that's always been known about Roland Martin. And I had one of my brothers, he come up to tell me, man, Roland Martin got a good show. I say, yeah, for moist ass dudes, for zesty guys, for dudes
Yes.
that's real zesty. But Professor, I know you had some clips you wanted to pull up. Pull them up. Can you hear us, Professor? Earth calling Professor, boss. Earth calling.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, keep talking because here's my challenge. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Right. So, but I'm keep talking because I got technical issues on this side. I can't hear you on the platform, but I can hear you off my Facebook. So just give me a little time. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I told you about getting them
And
dang on phone from Family Dollar. Told you.
and earlier the professor touched on something, because I like to chime in with him on the technology end of this thing because yeah, brother. Because I was out of country and I made the opportunity to come on the show and put in my 2 cents and help out Dr. Juice. And that would not be something that's even fathomable if we didn't have technology moving like it's moving now. And so we got to take advantage of this every opportunity we can.
Yes. Like I said, we just coming to y'all real quick tonight with a little Urban Matters Black Media Group war briefing. And y'all got to understand, every time I come and connect with y'all, This is a war briefing from a certain aspect, and I need all the black men who really care and who are critical thinkers and who are intellectual thinkers. And in other words, people that like to think for themselves and not follow the go along, get along game of the vote blue no matter who. Listen, I don't care if you go down there and you vote and write your name in on the president. That's what you want to do. You want to exercise your voting rights, so be it. But best make sure you vote against the blue. Vote against the blue, because you can't spit in our face and you can't throw up the middle finger to us and then think there's not going to be some repercussions behind that. Those days are over. Those older baby boomer generations, don't get me wrong, family. I love y'all, my baby boomers, my elders. Y'all have been out of touch so long to you guys think that it's okay. We're gonna glorify it. No, you're not just gonna throw anybody in front of us and say, vote for this person, vote for that person, vote for this person, vote for that person. I'll be mad right now if I was a diehard Democrat that Joe Biden turned his back and just throw a commandment out there. I'll be pissed off right now. I'll be asking some questions. I would be like, I'm not going along with this. No. This chick been missing in action for 3-4 years, and now y'all just gonna throw her out there? And pay attention to what they do to a lot of times. A lot of these folks, you don't even know nothing about them. They track record. Who the hell is Professor? We're gonna bring you in here soon. Who is the fucking dude Waltz? What is his damn name? Waltz.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is he?
Yeah. Just pop up one day.
I heard he was putting tampons in the male bathroom. That's all I heard about him. He was putting tampons in the male bathroom.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't hear anybody, but I can talk real quick. Can you share my screen? And I'll just say this and
it might be your head,
but I cannot hear anything. Share my screen, Juice. There you go. Thank you. While I can't hear you, I can talk. I guess you guys can hear me. I wanted to piggyback on what Brother Mark was saying in terms of our ability to earn. That's my big thing right now. How are you going to make money when all of this foolishness is over with? Whether Trump win, Kamala win, and all this kind of stuff. The bottom line is, how are you going to make money? But what are you trained to do? Here is some data from Pew Research, and it talks about Black and Hispanic workers remain underrepresented. And look where we are in terms of computers. Of course, computers is my favorite topic. And we are the lowest of the low, okay? We're the lowest of the low. Now, I want to give you something to think about. What do you think Black students would be if they train in technology the same way that they train in the sororities and the frat? Think about it. Black students spend hours and weeks perfecting how they're gonna go on the frat line, the sorority line. They get they synchronize all of their moves and their dances. I wonder where would we be if they approached STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math in that same fashion. Where would we be? Right now, we're on the bottom. And no organization, not even the Black church, is teaching the youth how to compete. We don't know how to compete. Where you live, you got all of these churches. And yes, I'm riding the Black church because I see the Black church as a parasite in the community. The Black church has collected $9 million every week between 9 o'clock and 12. That's $500 million. So how can you collect $500 million each year, but yet still You're on the academic bottom of things. Make that make sense and help me understand why. Help me understand why.
I agree. I agree. That's the the black church has taken a giant step to the rear. The black church has really lost its footing in the black community, and I lay it on the fact that it's part of the go along, get along game. Now, everybody, they want everybody to be smiling and everybody to be happy. We talk about no consequences for your actions in church. Now, if they didn't talk about consequences anywhere, you heard it in our churches. And it's all Hakuna Matata. Don't worry, be happy. You got one life to live. Let's get out there and party, party, party. And make sure you bring that 10% and put it in the plate. And then every now and then get a pastor something for his anniversary, give them something for the building fund, give them something for this, give them something for that. We got to stop. We got to open our eyes and we got to start acting like adults and stop with this childish stuff. There's no way that a cognizant adult should be able to watch people do you wrong and show proof that these people are doing you wrong, and you still say, I'm going to vote for these people. I don't understand it. I just can't. And people who obviously has a track record of doing you wrong, and you ignore it and say, I'm going to vote for them anyway. For people who's putting policies that you disagree with in a conversation, and you still say, I'm going to vote for this person. I Once again, we've been trained to be those very people that our grandparents and great grandparents, what they tried to put on us. They tried to say our women was loose and our women had morals and values. They tried to say that we were less than, we didn't have the brains, but we proved that we did because we were we were always trained to not only be the best, but be even better than the best. They tried to say we were lazy, but we built the country and everything we did, we excelled in. Well, now they finally figured out how to crack our armor with our families and with our generations. And so now we're dealing with the repercussions of that because we allowed them to create our narrative. So now they're turning us into lazy people with all these programs and all this and that. Oh, you don't have to work. Only thing you have to do is not have a man in the house and you can get a house. Don't worry about it. You're okay. Oh, you don't have to work. We'll give you food stamps. Oh, you don't have to work. We'll get your butt done. Did y'all know they do booty and breast jobs? The government pay for that. Yes, they do. I was blown away when I heard that. So we must return to a value-based culture because without that, and these churches should be on the forefront of it. These single mothers who are supposed to be so strong and independent should be on the forefront of it. You stop your child from wearing their pants under their butt by not allowing it in your house. And nobody better not see you looking like that. Because we all know the consequences if we was caught doing anything we shouldn't have been doing. So we got to go back to raising kids, because that's harder than facilitating kids. Throwing money at problems, just like the US government. We got to be about raising and stop with all this other stuff. I can go on. Sorry, gentlemen. So I'm looking at numbers, all the different, the abortion thing, it touched me kind of close, because I know firsthand, because I was a part of it. I did it, and I know how I felt. I know how the young lady felt, and I would say neither one of us was the same afterwards. And so, because you're young, just because the culture tells you, you can't do it unless you have X amount of dollars, don't go for it, because that very young life that you take could possibly be that very shining star that we need in our community. So, we, as a man, you put forth a strong face, because you have to be the rock, not the woman. The man has to be the rock. He got to be the foundation, because everything come before his lap.
Yes,
And
sir.
then he take it to God. That's the pecking order. So, so you put on that strong face, and then you getting chewed up on the inside. And us as men, we got to carry that torch on the inside, and then we take it to God. So, even though we have that strong face, that don't mean we didn't get chewed up by that action. And that don't mean that we ain't paying attention to how you feeling, or how that person, that woman is feeling. So I take real offense to the tactics that they using. They use stuff called, call it gaslighting, right? When they tell you this is for reproductive rights of a woman. Well, bro, with an abortion, are you reproducing? Isn't that backwards?
Yeah.
When you get an abortion, that's not reproductive rights. That's taking away reproduction. So, and here we are, we fall for all this word salad. We got to stop with that. We got to think about stuff sometime. We got to start thinking. We got to start paying attention, reading, and thinking, because we have some wonderful minds, and we got to start using them. We can't just run on emotion, because emotion will get us where we are now. As Dr. Claude Anderson say, we are at the bottom, and we got to fight our way and dig our way out. And we can't do it by being lazy. We can't do it by running around thinking that sex is something that has no consequences. We can't get there by placing that above everything else. So we got to get these goals down. We got to get these people educated and not indoctrinated. Dr. Juice. Dr. Juice working on some graphs. I can tell. I see that head move. And so we Professor Voss.
I gotta have a graph that I need to throw up right in between what you're doing. I want to piggyback off what you were saying, Brother Mark. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
There you go.
Wow.
Right. So, do you see the graph?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So, you were talking about black fathers, and I'll make it real simple for you. Across the U.S., black boys have the highest out of school suspensions in the country. And why do you think that statistic exists? It exists because
Absence.
there's no fathers in the home.
No consequences.
There's no fathers in the home.
Yep.
70% of 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 our black children are being raised in single mother homes. So, what policies are being created that's going to enable us as men to economically provide for our communities? And I'm not asking anything other than what we've earned as a people or what our ancestors have earned. We have a very unique history in this country, and we need unique solutions to solve our problem. How do we solve the problem of these boys who has the highest rate across the country with out of school suspensions? What are they? If you're suspended out of school, what are you learning? What are you learning to do? So y'all tell me, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts on that, Brother Mark?
My thoughts on that is black, and we're going to talk about the men. Black fathers need to show up to the schools just like you show up to Pee Wee League football practice. We need to be in them schools, and we need to make sure as a community we start how do I say it, patrolling our schools where our kids at. Meaning you walking around the school, speaking to the kids, whatever, you bonding. But we need to make our presence known somewhere other than the court
So quick
and the
question, Brother
field.
Mark. Quick
Yes,
question.
sir.
Quick question. Quick question. Quick question. Quick
Yes,
question.
sir.
So how do you deal?
I hear you.
How do you deal with the fathers who the baby mama got a trespassing warrant against the daddy? He can't go to the school because the baby mama, she mad for whatever reason, and she took out a trespassing warrant against him. So how does a brother deal with that?
That's out of my pay grade. uh, I would think I would think that he would be able to go to the school as long as the mother is not there. That's just what I would think. I'm not speaking from experience. So if you go to the school, then she can't be at the school because y'all too close. So just like y'all got distance boundaries, then he can go to that school long as she not there. Dr. Juice,
Yes,
if
sir.
the question Professor Voss posed to me is if the baby mama mad at him at the daddy, and she got a trespassing warrant on the daddy. Can the daddy still go to the school? Do you know anything about that? Because I thought that maybe the daddy can go to the school long as the mother not there at the school.
Repeat that, Brahma.
When I was speaking, I said something about black fathers should attend the schools that their young men are at. So, Professor, we should be there. We should make a presence at the schools. Professor Voss, he posed a question. He said, what is if your son or daughter's mother has a trespass warrant against you as a father? How can you go, and you can't go to the school? So I thought that you can go to the school as long as the mother's not there at the school at the same time.
Exactly. It just depends on, who the trespassing warrant is against. So if it's against, if the judge said you have to stay so far away from the child, then you probably wouldn't be able to go to the school.
No.
You're just saying you just gotta stay away from the mother. As long as she's nowhere in the vicinity, I think that everything is good. You should be able.
Right.
Because even though they want to do that, they won't be able to keep a man from his child. I don't care what they say. These people are pretty wicked, especially these liberals. They have all types of agendas because why you thinking, okay, I tell you what, men, don't be involved in your child's life. That's why they got tampons in his bathroom, because they trying to effeminize the shit out of his ass. And that's the thing about the agenda of the liberals. I don't like that they're wanting to try to effeminize the image or the identity of the black man, because that automatically tears down the fabric of the. Can y'all hear me?
So let me make it complicated. Let me make it complicated a little bit for you right quick. Let me make it complicated for you right quick. Okay? Yeah, can you hear me?
Sir. We can hear you, Professor.
How many of you got your ass beat by your daddy? Yeah. Raise your hand. How many got the ass beat by your daddy? You got your ass beat? You got your ass beat?
Quite often.
My mama did the beating.
I got both of them. My mama was a better ass beater than my dad.
So listen to the scenario. So Lil Boom Boom.
I know where you finna go.
But hold on. But listen to so here's the scenario. So Lil Boom Boom been grown up, and now he's coming into manhood. Okay. All right.
Smelling himself.
And we've all got beside ourselves. I remember my daddy pulling a gun on me because I didn't say yes, ma'am. Okay. So yeah, we all smell ourselves. Okay. So the mama and the daddy, or the baby mama, they're not on the same page. And boom, then got out of control. So the daddy, as we've all been, my daddy, your daddy, just snatched him up.
His crack was
right.
They were
she mad at the daddy and took a restraining warrant out against the daddy. Because as you well know, the black woman used the police as our bully. So now,
not only the black women,
a restraining order against the daddy, and the daddy can't go to the school to see the boy because the restraining order is not only against being away from the mom, but she also was able to take. Can I point something out right quick? I'm in a different listen to this. I'm in a different location, and the reason why I sound funny, in my office, I have the highest speed that you could possibly pay for.
Sure.
And I'm in a different location in a country town, and the speed is amazing to me. It's different, it's slow. So I'm saying things, and when I'm quiet, I hear myself say everything that I say. So it's
Oh,
almost
that's a
like I'm
little
on
funny.
drugs, man. So just bear with me.
Listen,
It's
we got
weird.
somebody named
But here's the
Renee.
point.
Renee. Okay. Hey, welcome,
So
Renee.
we're not talking about a trespassing warrant. We're talking
Hi.
about
What's up, beloved?
we're talking about a restraining order. Renee, oh,
Okay.
we got a female. Let me shut up.
We love female. We love to get y'all perspective. Hey, Renee. How you doing, beloved? Welcome. Greetings. Can't hear you.
I
Renee. Yeah, I think we got your mic off. Let's see if we can get your mic on. Hold on.
I shared it
Have her,
with
hey, Dr.
Renee.
Zeus, have her tell us who she is and where she's from. Want to know about
Right.
her.
I
Hey,
shared
Renee.
it with I shared it with Renee because she's a activist in her area, and
Love it.
she does a lot. She does a lot for the people in her area, and she she's a very intelligent woman who can add that female side to some things. Renee, tell them who you are, Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee Panko, and I'm the owner of Ladies of the Sea in Tampa, Florida. And
Where is she
I
from?
am a voice for my community. Tampa, I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, but I've been here a while, since '84. So I'm from Tampa. So, yes,
Well,
I'm in Hillsborough County, Tampa, Florida. So, as I was
So,
saying, I'm very much in love with my community. I live in the East Tampa area, and I fight for a lot of our shortcomings that we are being given in my community. So that's me. Kind of,
I would love to reach out to Tampa. I was partially raised in Tampa. My grandma, they lived off of Jackson Heights, and then had a few folks off in right off of my grandma stayed right off Nebraska City on the south side, right there by Ybor City. Yeah,
yeah, we're
I
in the
mean,
area.
it's very
Yeah, that's the area. It's like where the cemetery is, Aikens Funeral Home.
right,
Yeah, I'm in that
right.
area.
What's the name of the big
I
That's
pastors right there on the Avenue?
repeat that again,
Pastor,
sir.
what's his name?
Reverend
Pastor on
Brown.
Nebraska Avenue,
Oh,
right
Jefferson.
off Jefferson. That's him.
Jefferson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's him, Mr. Jefferson. Right, right.
yeah. Yeah,
And then my
did
grandma, we came up in Central Park. You know where Central Park is, right there off of
Nebraska and Cass.
I
right.
graduated from the University of Tampa twice.
Okay, on Tampa Street.
you you go, Professor. Um,
That's great.
yeah, we were talking about some of the challenges. The professor he showed the
And
graph of
I
our,
played ball in Temple Terrace.
and he was showing us some of his a graph, and he was giving us a scenario because my one of my answers were that black men need to show up to our kids' schools just like we show up to Pee Wee League football practice,
Correct.
and and we need to be there, and whether we do it in shifts or whatever, but we need to be spending time at the school, so a lot of stuff can be squashed right there at the school. And if we start doing that at a young age, then it'll be normal as they get older. And you'll have more kids respecting, I'll say, Mr. Evans more than just Mr. Evans' son or grandson or whomever. It'll be a group of young men. And just like it'll be one for Mr. Voss and Mr. Johnson. So that way a lot of stuff can be squashed before, because the first thing they want to do, they want to try to put charges on our young men.
Correct.
And that's another reason why they getting us trained with this out of school suspension. Our kids can't learn that out of school, but they also know what times most of the crimes happen too. So they really setting our kids up for failure when they put them in out of school suspension, knowing their parents not home.
Correct.
So they setting them up for failure. So we gotta pay attention to stuff like that. And so that's what we were talking about in Professor Voss. He was giving us a scenario where there's restraining orders put. A lot of times when women get mad at baby daddy, they'll get a restraining order on him, and so forth and so on. And so we was talking about how can we still do this program with that restraining order in place, because baby daddy had to snatch up his 15-year-old son because he was out of place. He was getting out of pocket like us young men like to do when we get to smelling ourselves. And mama didn't like the fact that he snatched him up, even though she never had a pair of cojones, because all of us been snatched up. So that's where we were, Miss Renee.
Okay.
Thank, thank,
Something has to
thank
be done
Miss
with the
Renee.
community of our, excuse me, sir?
No, I was just saying, go ahead, Miss Renee.
Okay. Something has to be done. I live not far from my restaurant. And again, I'm in the East Tampa area. And literally it had to be around 6, maybe, yeah, about 6:30. I heard shots, just a person emptying a clip. And later on, my daughter called me to tell me that it was one of her friends said that it was a group of young boys, little boys, had a gun and almost shot her and her niece. Like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah. In the day, yes,
Wow.
brought. I've just had the guys over to add another camera on my property because,
Right.
this is just ludicrous. I'm like, this is what they're doing. They're flooding our community, our children with these guns, and it's out of hand now. And they're dropping them off in our community, making it easy, accessible for the kids. And these children are just Generation X is off the chain. I just so disrespectful. And I'm like, how do we get them back? And when you said about the fathers, it's the broken families. It's the father that's not
Yes.
present. Some moms are not present. Grandma is doing the best she can, and it's
Yeah.
getting
Good
crazy.
point.
And there's no respect in the school. They don't have any kind of fear, and it all started when we couldn't whoop our kids, literally, you know?
Yeah.
And when you start taking the chastisement away physically, that's when we start having these problems. Even to the point when they stop taking the paddling, when the principal used to paddle you, because I done got a couple of licks
Right.
back
Right.
in my days,
Me
but
too. Yep.
yeah, so I'm just like, God, what it's gotta be something's gotta be done. They don't have any fear. I can't think of
None.
the lady that
None.
was on I think she was in maybe a church or something. I can't was indicating.
I know.
You heard that one and said, and the kids ain't scared of
Yes.
nobody. And it's crazy.
Right.
There's no
Right.
fear.
Yeah.
And
That was
and
a
and
panel. That was a
pray
panel
tell you
discussion.
say, I'm gonna tell your parents, now I gotta say, I'm gonna beat your ass, your mama ass, your daddy, and whoever else. It's just ridiculous now. They
Right.
they You can't say, I'm going to tell your mama and they get scared. So go tell her. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's
Thanks
a
for
lot of
sharing.
work.
Thanks for sharing that, Miss Renee. And I'm gonna tell you, just to kind of add to that, kind of piggyback off what you're saying. This is what I've been noticing with my research. A lot of these black-looking people and black-looking kids, they look like they're us, but it is a lot of immigrant influx coming into this, and these people, their moms and their dads didn't come with them to this country, so they are automatically like just off the meter, and so when they get blamed, we get blamed, and I'm just tell you, I know a lot of people that's pretty much like me, like Mark, Professor right here, the other brother, and a lot of us come from, I won't say broken homes, but we come from well-rounded homes, and where we were taught discipline and values and morals, and that's what's missing now in our. They're glorifying. Look at the stuff that they're glorifying a lot of times right now. They're glorifying all this sexuality out in the open type stuff. You know, I didn't even got to go there. Then you
Yeah, the
got
music. Oh my God, the music.
this,
Ooh.
the music. You got
Oh.
your Foxy, I mean, Sexy Reds, and your Megan the Stallion, and a stallion is a damn male horse for one damn thing. How they call a woman a
Mhm.
stallion? So it's all type of dysfunction that's being glorified, and it's
She
sad.
might be a
Nobody.
male horse.
She might be what they call a. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you have to start asking the tough questions. That's why here at this platform, we talk about the controversial subjects. We're not afraid because we don't have nothing to lose. If we're going to continue to just watch our community just get washed to the wayside, what do we got to lose?
Right.
I told a gentleman on the platform, I said, man, listen, man, I'm ready to die about this stuff that I'm talking about on this platform. Ready to die for it. I got grandkids. I got daughters. I got 3 granddaughters and 2 daughters. I refuse to leave them unprotected out here as soft targets. I refuse to.
Mm-mm.
I digress.
Professor Boss, you have another diagram?
Diagram. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. He wanted to add to what the sister was. I can pull up this diagram real quick. And we thank you again for joining us.
Well, I want to respond to. I want to respond to the beautiful young lady. I want to respond to what the sister was saying. They always want me to punk.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, we
Professor.
can hear
Go ahead.
you.
Go ahead, Professor. I think he's having problems with his microphone.
Here's the thing.
There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
When you traded ownership, when you traded ownership, it's slow. It's slow. It's real slow.
Okay.
I'm not in my office. I'm remote. So when
we're
we
remote
traded
right now.
ownership,
We got a lot of fellas on the ground.
Let's take a quick look at what happened in the school system. Think about this. In integration, well, segregation. When we did segregation, you got your ass beat. You never went to the office. You got your ass beat real time in class. So when the black people went over to the white schools, think about this. Imagine a black man beating a white child. See, we didn't think nothing of it. But if I was a white person, I can see where a white person said, ain't no whatever they call us back then going to put their hands on my child. And I probably would have beat a white child a little extra harder myself. I get that. So when we went to the white institutions, they took that out because they're not going to let a black man administer corporal punishment to a black to a white child. It's not going to happen.
That's right.
I had to listen to myself. See, I'm not even talking. I had to listen to myself. So that's a big gap in our ability as a people, as a culture, to instill values into our children. We don't send. When have you seen a black child being sent to the corner and say, "Okay, boom, boom, you got to go over in the corner, bro, and you can't have no popcorn." It's no black child that I know that will respect you if you sit him in the corner talking about you can't have no popcorn. You got to beat his ass. As well as
In
my daughter's
today's
doing. I went to jail. I
in these
literally went to
times,
jail for beating my own child. Because the point
yeah,
that I was
in
going to make,
these,
is number one, I'm not going to let white people tell me how to raise my daughter. Number one.
correct.
I was willing to go to jail. I went to jail. And I told my daughter, if you disrespect me again, because her mother encouraged her to disrespect me, them people got my credit card. I'm going to get out faster than I did. And I told my daughter, you the first person that I'm going to look for when I get out of jail. So black fathers, you can't be afraid to take a stand to raise your child. As Dr. Ju said, check this out. We got people at Morehouse right now teaching they're teaching this in their theology curriculum. They're teaching the concept of more than two genders. This is what they're telling our boys. There's more than two genders. Now,
52 genders.
maybe they might
I mean,
prove that. I haven't seen that scientifically prove that there are more than two genders. But it doesn't matter if you got somebody believing that. So now you got these boys confused with a felony. So the question becomes, in this ecosystem, in this environment, how do we manage and discipline our children? And all I'm saying, what I had to do, I had to go to jail. But guess what? My daughter graduated from Westlake High School, which is the top black high school in Atlanta. Well, my daughter graduated from Spelman, and she also graduated from Emory. So we can safely say scientifically that beating her ass didn't interfere with her educational achievement.
that's pretty safe to say.
Ms. Renee, let's give you a little bit of history about the professor right here. He's a accredited professor, PhD, and he's out of Atlanta area. And his he's a single black male father, so he's a single parent. But from the father's perspective, I know that's kind of rare. You see a father raise his child on his own. But thank you for that, Professor. Salute to the professor. He's having difficulties with his microphone. So that's why when you said something earlier, Miss Renee, he could not hear you. But go ahead, Miss Renee. Give him a reply. Give us a reply that you were trying to reply to.
No, I was trying to comment on the part about discipline and not being in fear of going to jail for discipline. Because my daughter, who's 35 now, uh, I think her friend was like, if she hits you, you could call the police or tell the teacher or whatever. And I, yank the phone and told her, yeah. And when I go and I come back, I'm gonna beat you again, and then you could pack up all your stuff and then go with them, So, um, yeah,
That's right.
you can't be in fear. I mean, I was literally in Walmart, and the little white kid was like, I I effing hate you. I'm like, this kid had to be like maybe maybe seven, a white kid, of course. I had
Wow.
sandals on.
Wow.
My shoe was about to come off. You know, I was looking, and she's like, Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland, don't do that. Don't talk like that. I don't get. And I gave him when he turned around, I was looking at him like this. I was like, and he looked at like just scared, and he turned back around. And when he turned back around, I was even frowning and looking more like, I wish you would. I wish you would. I was like, God, I effing hate you. I want, oh my God. I was like, oh, these kids, man.
But you know
These
what?
kids.
You know what,
Woo.
Sister Renee, you are a giant breed of
Oh,
mothers
yeah.
that are really standing on business. So we got to give you a round of applause for that. We got
Yeah.
to see if
Thank
we.
you. I got some kids now, a young lady that's uh wayward, and I've never seen so many of these kids involved, young girls involved in this, what is it called, mm, I guess stripping parties. So going to these stripping parties, they're not, don't nobody care how old they are, I guess. Because now I think in the strip clubs, they're raising the age up from 18 to 21, maybe. And so that's
Oh wow.
uh eliminating those girls from being able to sneak in there and work these strip clubs. So these perverted men are taking these young girls that are running away with issues like, oh, I'm being mistreated at home, or I don't want to listen, or da 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 da, whatever issue it is that they're having, that they're confiding into some older man who's convincing them to go out here and shake their tail and get them some money as the way out, and then take them on further journeys through the pits of hell, and they end up being either strung out or sexed out, and she was almost involved in something like that, and she told me that she had enough sense to like leave, and her mom didn't raise her, so she's got an issue there. So I have a friend of mine that's like over the program with the Job Corps. So I'm really trying to like get her in that so that she can try to finish some type of education and get some type of trade and become something, because it's just
Right.
not. It's not. They're not setting our children for. I mean, they're setting them up for failure.
Correct. Correct.
Give up.
So
Don't give up on them. Don't give up on
yeah.
them. Please.
Yeah, I'm not, but it's just
Like I say,
sad.
we just salute you and give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
What's going on with that round of applause, Dr. Juice?
Well, we had to give her a round of applause on that. We had to give her a salute, a heavy salute on
Well,
that.
thank you. Thank you.
This is very rare. I mean, I've never seen. I'm not gonna say I've never seen it, but it's been a while, and it's well overdue that we see like you and up and standing with men. Like I mean, even you can come on this platform and present yourself with us. That's impressive to me because we go hard on this platform. You feel me?
Yeah,
Brother Mark can tell you.
yeah, Brother
I can
Mark
feel
did
you.
tell me. Yeah, he
You
uh
have some
he
great
did
energy.
express that to me, that your platform was very conscious and serious and about
And we talk
business
about
for
the
our people.
controversy. Yeah, we talk
Yeah,
about the real controversy that everybody's coward and they have a coward spirit. They don't like to come here. So and we're
yeah,
making like I said, making ground. We're making ground every day. Thank you again, Miss Renee.
You're welcome.
All right, Brother Mark.
Yeah, just with us saying conscious, that made something pop into my head that we spoke about before, but I think we can't say it enough. The term woke, the term woke that they are using in politics is not talking about black people. It is not talking about conscious black people. So when people are against the woke movement, they are not against black people. They have used word salad and they attached this this multiple gender thought pattern, um, this grooming our kids with with the with the drag queens and things like that, this
God.
LGBT movement, all of that
Yes.
is a part of this woke movement. And they use the term that black people can can gravitate to, because black people, what woke mean is I'm a conscious individual and I'm woke to the history and the historical processes that have been holding us down. And also, I'm enlightened. But when they speak of woke movement in politics, it does not mean black people and what we know woke to be. So please stop saying because somebody is against the woke movement, they're against black people. That is not accurate.
Has nothing to do with us.
Correct. So, once again, that goes back to us doing those things that we talk about. Read, get an understanding. We got to start reading more. We're the most, we have one of the most educated blocks in higher education, and nobody chooses to read after they get that piece of paper. We
Mm-hmm.
got to start reading again, and we got to read to understand. Because when you grab that Black's Law dictionary, you will learn that a lot of the words that you think you know the meaning to, it don't mean the same when you step into a legal or arena. So we got to start reading and we got to start understanding what the system will get you into, because you don't understand the language, the terminology. Because just think about it. In America, we we have many languages, because when professor talks to a class about something in his realm, in the computer realm, he might be saying, I'm just using something, he might be saying the right hand side, but in the computer realm it means, I'm just going to say a word, livid, the livid section of the computer. Well, in computers that mean right. Not saying that's true. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we have different terminologies in different professions. That's all I'm saying. And we have to learn the terminology of that profession before we can move forward in it. Just like in
Absolutely.
metal, you got anterior, posterior, things like that. So front, back, on boats, you have aft, you have starboard. So in the legal realm, when you say stuff like person, it don't necessarily mean what you think.
Yes.
So we have to understand, and that's all I'm saying. Read and understand before you step into an arena. Don't think that it means what you say it means.
Well,
Dr.
the
Juice.
old saying is if you want to keep a black man uh ignorant, or what's the word in the what they call us, but it's in the Bible, uh niggardly, put it on writing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
put it in writing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That is definitely. Thanks for
Uh-oh,
that, brother.
Professor Voss.
I think we got somebody else in the building, Sister Bridget.
Oh, Sister Paris.
I think we got Sister Bridget into the building. Somebody just came
Hey,
into.
hi. Good night.
Say good night.
Yeah.
Sister Bridget, now we have house rules now. You got to turn your camera on.
Oh, wow.
This is a,
Ugh. I'm so sorry. I can't at the moment. I'm not in a position. Don't want to ruin the night now.
So,
Okay, we gave you a pass. We gave you a pass this first time, but if you coming back, you better make sure you're presentable and you're looking like a queen when you come into the digital building.
Okay, sweetheart.
Okay, present yourself. You see, Professor saying
Professor
no,
shaking his head.
no, Bridget.
I'll try to make sure I'm presentable. Oh my gosh, I kind of could click on the link by the way.
Yes.
Put your brim on.
I sent the link to Sister Bridget also.
we don't do catfish. We don't do catfish on this. We don't do catfish on this. We don't do catfish. We don't do catfish.
So now some of this is because I'm not fluid in this platform and how to share it. So I may have mistakenly shared the link instead of the ability for someone to see the live. So when they click to see the live, they actually going on the link. And that was my fault. I take the hit for that. Sister Paris, she's I'm sorry, Sister Bridget McFarland, she runs a nonprofit and she does help with women and the cancer issues with women. And that's what her nonprofit covers. And she do a lot. So she travels doing things, taking donations and doing things to help young people learn about their bodies and try to help with medical issues of women.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's give Sister Bridget an applause for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. And a lady I'm noticing there.
And so Sister Bridget won't be able to talk this time because she is not on camera, and because we got to follow the rules. Ain't that right, Professor Voss?
Yeah, we gotta follow the rules because if we break the rules, we gotta just keep breaking them for everybody, and then it turns into a. But we're gonna start displaying that. We're gonna start displaying that on our jumbotron so everybody
We don't do catfish.
And it's no thing against you, Sister Bridget, but you gotta understand we talk about some very controversial topics, and you got a lot of people that's butthurt about it, and they'll come in and try to sabotage. So we have to be on our guards because we're not like the go along, get along gang where we just allow everything and we just normalize dysfunction. So a lot of people are butthurt about that and they get in their feelings. And so we have to have some rules, platform.
So I'm glad you clicked in, Miss Bridget, but I will share with you the actual.
Can I do this? Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead. Professor Voss is on a delay, so that's why he responds the way he does.
But let me also, in the same breath, I want Miss Bridget to hang around. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So I want to commend the ladies though, because for me, this is the first. Since Dr. Juice and I have been in business, we've never had a female on this platform. It's been men's.
Yes.
We've been beating our chests and we've been talking about these issues. And, for Black women to come on our platform and want to participate, I just want to commend you and honor you for, wanting to sit down with us and have this conversation. So I don't want to discourage you by calling you a catfish and that sort of thing, but it's important for our audience to see who you are. But I really want to commend you Black women for showing up. And there's a lot of them that's watching us. I know that they're watching us for the business that I'm in. I can see you, but they've been ghost watching us. We've been having a lot of people ghost watching us, and I know a lot of women have been ghost watching us. But for you ladies to take this step to be a part of this, and you are just more than welcome, because guess what? We need that female input. I mean, think about it, and I don't want to talk bad about no woman, but women see things that we don't see.
Correct. That's true.
Y'all see things that we don't see, and I want to break this narrative. There's some kind of war going on between Black men and Black women that I believe other cultures have created. Okay,
Gender war, yes.
and I can cite you example where these other people has been a part of intentionally destroying the Black family, and the gender war is part of the destruction. I want to say something to you that I want you to always remember. In 1955, J. Edgar Hoover said that the greatest threat to America was Black unity.
Yeah.
And the best thing that we can weaponize to move our cause apart down the road, I'm listening to myself again, but the greatest thing that we can do is to show unity. And the fact that you beautiful women, and they'll tell you right now, my IQ go when I see beautiful women, my IQ go down. So bear with me. But I want to thank you all for being a part of this, and we really want you to come back because there's so many things that we need to discuss, and we want to include you.
We need your input, yes.
I don't want to ruin your IQ tonight. Let's call it that.
And like you say, Professor Voss, the balance. This entire world.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. When your voice, just your voice in itself, made my IQ go down.
You're the man. Actually, I'm appreciating the unification of the Black man and the Black woman. We need to restore, the House has said. So I am really totally in support of that. So of course, it's always a pleasure to see that we have good Black men that still exist in our society that's trying to enforce such movement. And I will do anything I can to support that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Juice, I think. Oh, and I noticed we do have the y'all know the barcode, not the barcode. What is it called?
QR code.
QR code. I'm working on it, and everything in the Cash App. So our Ghost Watchers and everybody, that is the place you go if you want to help us, help our community, and many more, because we serious about this. Like Dr. Juice say, we're them brothers who willing to lay it down for our people. Period.
Also, you can see at the bottom right there, brother Mark, the Cash App on the scroll.
Yes, sir.
At the bottom. Yeah,
yes, sir.
C Johnson, BP. So y'all check that out. And Urban Matters Black Media Group. make sure you just share it. That's what really helps us out too. Just share this link. Make sure you go and like and share this link. That's what's going to really help get our voices heard. They'll hear you ladies tonight coming on here. They'll see that unity, that black unity, and they'll be like, you know what? Man, these folks ain't playing. These folks are really grassroots and on the ground, and they standing in the pain and they standing on business. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show him, hey, look, I don't know what y'all got going on, but the black man and the black woman, we rocking together, and
That's
all of
right.
that. I don't this and that, and I don't need no man, and I don't need no woman, and all women this and all men. No, we're not rocking like that over here. Man, we never have rocked like that. I was telling somebody the other day, even when I was a young jittybug, and you know, I had my pick of the litter. But one thing about me, I never two-time women. I always dealt with one woman at a time. Even though I could have been that old grimy, greasy dude, but my spirit didn't sit right with that. Because you got to understand, every time you share your spirit with somebody, every time y'all have intimate belongings with each other, you're swapping souls. So you're taking a part of that person. And just think about if you got 4 or 5 people that you're swapping in and out like that. It's dysfunctional. And I just never wanted to partake in that. Right?
Mhm.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Make sure listen, Miss Bridget and Miss Renee, we're gonna send out email invites every time we go live because, like I say, we need your input. We need that strong sister input. We need that. And Sister Renee, I'm so impressed by your stance on being a mother and being a parent and what parenting is all about. And we got to start standing on business like that so we can start leading and guiding our children and our kids and our young folks and those millennials. And I tell folks all the time on this platform, these millennials and these Generation Z, they're a whole nother breed. You can't just say anything
Oh.
to them because they can go
Mhm.
research and they know this computer and they know how to network with each other. And we gotta, I think, to be frank, they need more guidance than we had when we were younger. They need way more guidance and they need way more direction and they
Discipline.
need way
Yeah.
more love. And I think that's what this country is trying to do, is trying to really just write our youth off and just think that, okay, when you come out the womb, you're automatically in charge of your life. And that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And if I can add to that, piggyback on that, I think the problem is, you remember growing up, I think most of us heard, you know, a house built on a shaky foundation will fall.
That's
And I
right.
think these young people, because they don't have that moral compass and that strong foundation, it makes their house weak in the foundation section. But like you say, their talents in other areas may be amazing, but that shaky foundation, once their house start getting shook, they start they start losing ground. So that's where we come in, because as much as so many people hate to say it, but we are the elders and we are
Yeah.
the ones that gotta kind of keep them solid and stop their houses from falling. And so this platform is really important because you can come to us and you can have a conversation and we can help guide you because we have been through some things. And one thing about it, don't believe the hype. Times don't change. You go all the way back to biblical days, all the way here, you can find examples of stuff that's going on now. It's just like, I think a couple weeks ago we was talking about Malcolm X and his speeches. His speeches apply today, just like if he was talking to us yesterday.
Right now
So
today.
we gotta we gotta make sure that our young people, our young adults know that it's all right to talk to your elders, because that's something that we done, and they need to understand that we're here for them.
Correct.
And let me add something to that, bro, Mark. You know, a
Okay.
lot of people they look at our platform and they be like, "Oh man, juicing them. They just all in there doing on. They just, they just babbling on the internet and Facebook, and they got all these social media." But see, that's where you're out of touch, because Miss Renee and Miss Bridget, as soon as we click the off button, as soon as we hit the
Mm-hmm.
end platform, am I right, Professor? We got almost 200 souls that we've reached within 15 minutes. Now,
Wow.
what you gonna do that on the ground? And I'm not saying, I'm not knocking being on the ground. I'm just trying to say you have to add another element to your journey. And that's this social media, that's this technology, that's this cyber. I mean, we're dealing with cyber competitors, and
Right.
we have
Uh-huh.
smart and innovative now to reach our kids, because them kids, they on Instagram, they on Snapchat, they're on all these social media sites that you don't even know how to operate.
Mm.
How you gonna reach them and you're not on the same wavelength as they are, the same
Right.
frequency? So you gotta, in order to reach them and teach them, you gotta be able to guide them in what they're doing, and you gotta be able to co-sign, and you have to be able to like relate to what they're going through.
And understand the traps that they're about to walk into.
Correct.
Exactly. So I just had to add that. I mean, I know a lot of people like, oh man, I'm just in there becoming it, because just because they don't know how to operate these tools, these electronic tools, these technological tools, you know, they try to shit. I hate to say the word, but shit on us. Oh, Jude, look, bro, if you want to be part of this, then be a part of it. But you're not going to stop it, because I really don't. I'm not really trying to reach the older folks, because they're pretty much set in their ways. You get what I'm saying? If we can reach those young folks, then we can make a difference. That's what I'm trying to do with this technology. So that's why I try to keep up with the politics. I try to keep up with the economics, because that's really all we need is as Black culture. We just need economics in our community, and we'll figure the rest out. Because when we were integrated, we were doing way better, I think, than when we were segregated, I meant to say, my bad, than integration. It seemed like when we got integrated, we got rid of all our values and all of our morals, and we just go along with anything now. So I just wanted to add that to the.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anything else? We finna
Go and
get on
sign
out of
off.
here. Land our plane. Sign off. Thank y'all again.
Well, it was a pleasure.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.
Take care, brothers and sisters.
Take care. Take care. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Jew, signing off here at Urban Matters Black Media Group. Thank you again for joining the new Black Media. And make sure you join us on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. this Thursday. And that's what? Was that 2 days from now?
2
So make
days.
sure you join us. That's the 5th of September. And it's still Virgo season, y'all. I'm still getting off. You know, I'm a Virgo, so I'm still rocking on this Virgo season. So join us here at Urban Matters live chat. Say peace to the family. Peace and love.
Peace and love, brother.
Make sure y'all like and share. Make sure you like and share. Make sure you hit the QR code. Make sure you scan that QR code with your camera, and that'll take you directly to the link so you can support this movement. Thank you again.
Cut that shit up.